But that's Starks talking about what he needs to improve upon in his sophomore season. And he showed flashes as a rookie, and he was generally considered to be, I don't want to say a steal for the Ravens, but a home run pick for them when they got him last year in the first round out of Georgia. He had his ups and downs, but, you could see the potential there. Was he Ed Reed as a rookie? No. Will he ever be Ed Reed? That's a tall ask. He's one of the greatest safeties to ever walk the face of the planet. But the ceiling is still very high for Malaki Starks.
Yeah, and what the thing where Malachi's talking too is you almost feel bad for him as a rookie because he's working with pros now, and last year, I've said it a million times, I'm not a Zach Orr fan. I think he was in over his head. So I think all those guys suffered. And Malachi's talking about he was thinking too much. And Harb's always talked about that, playing fast. How do you play fast? You know what you're doing. You keep it simple, and I keep going back to Jesse Minter with what did you do with Owe to get him 11 sacks? We had to simplify some things for him, make it easier, and Zach Orr could never figure that kind of stuff out. And I was totally disappointed in Chuck Pagano. He was the secondary coach, and
he was the safety blanket that we all thought was going to be there like Dean Pease was 2 years ago.
No doubt. And that was a total disappointment. And he hadn't coached secondary in years. He'd been a head coach, a coordinator, all those things. So, yeah, it was a total disappointment. And that's why I think all these guys on defense are going to be so much better. They're going to be better coached, and I think led by Jesse Minter. I think that things will be simplified for each guy on what he can and can't do, and they'll put him in those positions to let them do. He got Owe $100 million. If Owe would have stayed here, what would he get? Minimum salary? He wouldn't have got probably got what a Jabo got down in Miami. So I'm excited about all the guys, all the guys on defense. I'm excited because I'll be disappointed if they don't make a big jump.
And again, not like Starks had a horrible season, 84 tackles, 2 picks, a couple of tackles for loss. So the ceiling is still high.
Big time.
And he's paired up with, one of arguably the best safety in the National Football League in Kyle Hamilton, and they brought the kid in from New England to bolster the back end of the defensive backfield as well. So, yeah, Malaki Starks, and, he's a guy that self-reflecting, didn't blame anyone else for what, went wrong with the defense, but, accountability's there, which is great. Mm-hmm. Now, learn from your mistakes, learn from the new coaches, and move forward here. The new secondary coach, P.J. Volker is the new safeties coach, and Mike Mickens
from Notre Dame
is the the pass game coordinator, secondary coach.
And Bob, the thing about it, because you mentioned the Hawkins kid who they got from New England, he stands out. He's good, and he's got really good ball skills, and he's 6'1", whereas Washington was 5'9". Yeah. So he was a smaller guy. So you got another bigger safety who's got good range and good ball. He's made plays out there, being out there the couple of times been a chance to see him and stuff. So I think Hamilton is going to be like Derwin James. I mean, Derwin James just became the highest paid safety. He got like $100,000 more than Kyle. And they're going to use him. He's going to be used all over the field. Kyle will be, and the other two guys, they'll do their thing in the safety, and I think I'll be disappointed if defense not top 10. I'll be disappointed. And that's my expectation.
Malaki Starks certainly going to be part of that equation. I also heard him talking about on NFL Network the Max Crosby trade that wasn't, and eventually bringing in Trey Hendrickson, who he's had a chance to practice with over the last few weeks at OTAs and then at the voluntary camp about a month ago. So he's familiar with him. But like everyone else, the Max Crosby trade was like the big blockbuster news of that free agent period. Then it got nixed, and then, Eric DaCosta kind of took it on the chin for, the Ravens are liars, and you can't trust them. Max Crosby still in Vegas with the Raiders, and hopefully he has a successful, healthy career moving forward, but he's not ready to play football. Trey Hendrickson is, and he's been on the field, and he'll probably be there again today.
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson looks good. He's been there every day. And, some of the rushes, the rushes I saw that he had against Ronnie Stanley, Trey Hendrickson he's got takeoff. He's got great bend, and he has awareness. He has hands. He's smart. He's extremely smart. So he's got every counter in the book, too. So I think that's going to be a huge addition. We'll see how he plays the run. And, if he can set the edge and play the run better, then he'll get a chance to probably even play more. But they'll have their rotation, with Green and Hendrickson, through there, and Tavius Robinson and all those guys. So it'll be a pretty good rotation through. And Bob, the guy I haven't seen yet, Travis Jones, I haven't seen him yet. He's not, he's a veteran and he got paid, but you can show up every now and then, I would think.
Yeah, and we'll see today. Coordinators, by the way, we'll speak with the media out at OTA, so stick around for that one. And also finally heard Malaki Starks talking about Jesse Minter and the way things have run OTA-wise for him and for everyone else. Not open to the media, not as open during the John Harbaugh era for whatever reason, but seems to be fluid. He brings the youthful energy to the equation. And apparently, as was written a couple of times last week, Jesse Minter's not big on the celebrations at this stage. Move on to the next play.
Yeah, and I think, Bob, being more youthful and energetic and stuff, I think the players probably like that. They like something new because you'd like something new because you weren't good last year, so you're bringing in something new. And what players want to see is, all players care about is, how's this new coach going to help me get better? And by getting better, win games and make more money. So if they're talking good, about the staff, they feel pretty good about the coaching staff and how they feel about them. Now, it could all change when the games start. We'll see. But right now, everybody's bought in. And when Jesse walks in the room, he's won a national championship. He's been to the playoffs. He's had a lot of success with defenses. So he walks in the room, he's got instant cred. Now, when Declan Doyle walks in the room, show me.
Yeah.
You got to show me because, it's nice that you were on the staff, but you weren't calling the plays. So you got to show me. So that's why I think, Bob, the defense is going to be in a real good place. And offensively, I don't know yet.
Yeah, they have good offensive players at the skill spots for the most part. Offensive line still debatable, but is Declan Doyle capable of how much more can you extract from Lamar Jackson? Todd Monken in 2024, Lamar Jackson had one of the great seasons in the history of the National Football League. His quarterback rating was over 120 that year, and it didn't win the MVP. Things went sour last year because he got hurt and everything else that went along with it. But what does Declan Doyle get out of him? Derrick Henry's like plug and play. Can you block enough for me? Dwayne Ledford so that I get some holes. How does he get Rashad Bateman motivated?
Yep.
What's left in Mark Andrews' tank? And, yeah, there's still some, like to your point, Vinny, there's still questions on offense where defensively, all right, who's playing next to Roquan? Can Matabike return? And if that's an added bonus.
Yep.
If he does, defensively, they look in a better situation than they do offensively, even though a lot of their Pro Bowlers are on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. The thing that concerns Bob, we go back to 24. When they were number one, Lamar should have been MVP, and they were dominating.
Yeah, he was first team All Pro. Let's stress that. He did win that.
So they need Lamar to be healthy the whole year. All right. Bateman sucked last year compared to 24. In 24, Bateman could have been a Pro Bowl receiver, 700, average 17 something. Zay Flowers had over 1,000 yards. Likely was a beast. Andrews had a ton of touchdown catches.
League and tight end touchdowns.
We had Derrick Henry had 2,000 yards rushing almost. You know, the O-line had 3 Pro Bowlers. So, I mean, how does he so how does he get, like you just said, one of the biggest things for their offense, Bob, is Bateman. You know, are you going to be able to get Bateman to play like he played in 24? They cannot replace Likely. That's the big thing. You know, and Andrews 2 years ago, I don't know. You know, I mean, he's kind of regressed.
He averaged 8 yards of reception last year.
Right. And touchdowns were from 16 to 4?
5.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of question marks offensively from an offense that the last 3 years was with Monken. They were number 1, number 7. So, you know, how do they go back towards number 1? I mean, that's Declan Doyle's job. And we're not going to know, kind of like Lamar said about the young receivers, Bob, we're not going to know till we play the games.